I originally hurt my knee on the last play of my senior year in high school, and so we rehabbed it a little bit, and I tried to play basketball and hurt it again, and then we rehabbed it some more, and I was offered a football scholarship at Georgia Tech, and when I was playing up there, really within the first month, I was defensive back, and I was defending someone and my knee buckled on me. And so the coach sent me to Dr. Houston. I had never met Dr. Houston, but my sister had been living in Columbus and of course knew of Dr. Houston and the legend that he was in sports medicine. And so the coaches at Georgia Tech sent me here, and we met with him, and was, as you know, a very gracious man and very easy to talk to, and he was very thorough. He would explain what he was doing while he was doing it. He didn't see this particular injury, but I told him the whole history, and he then did the surgery. And I was telling someone the first thing they had me do after surgery, that had a big cast on it, was to tighten my thigh muscles and lift my leg, which was quite painful, quite frankly. But they said, no, that's what you have to do. And his follow-up was great. And as you can tell by the letters from my mother back to him, everyone was appreciative of what he did. The injury itself pretty well ended my career, but the surgery was successful and that sort of thing. After that, I participated in a lot of intramural sports and that sort of thing at Georgia Tech, and have had a very active life ever since. And in recent years, as I've done lateral movements, I've felt a little tinge here and there. The operation was in the fall of 1967, and you called me back in 1980 as a follow-up for research. And my sister was still living here, and I said, well, of course, I was actually living in Maryland at the time, but I was going to be visiting my sister. So we set up an appointment and to do follow-up research. And so all these years later, I live in California now, and I'm visiting my sister again. I said, well, it'd be interesting just to see if you were interested in doing follow-up research for almost 50 years later. And I talked to Charlie, and she was fantastic at finding all my records. I was surprised that you actually had everything, which you gave me this morning. And it's quite a treat to see all those old memos and messages from my mother back thanking Dr. Houston and that sort of thing, as well as messages to my coaches, my high school and my college coaches. So we were able to arrange this, and I'm very happy that we did. The knee feels great. I really, one of the reasons I called was in 2010, I'd had a bump on my knee and had a little swelling in it. And the doctor at the time, when he took x-rays, said that I may need to have a replacement knee surgery at some point. So I was glad that you were able to look at it to see if that were the case, and how good the knee was and how much life I may actually have in this particular knee. So I was pleased to hear that the knee is actually doing pretty well, and as long as I do the right kind of activities, I should be fine. So for a while anyway. So that was great news and good to hear. And because I do a lot of walking and hiking and swimming and that sort of thing, and biking as well. I live in a part of the country that's excellent for that, so I do a lot of that. And so I was, quite frankly, from the 2010 experience, I always had in the back of my mind, well, gosh, when might I have to have a knee replacement surgery? And it doesn't sound like any time soon, so that was good news.